When it comes to refrigeration in a power outage, we have a few different options to choose from, but one of them really stands out above the rest. Now, when the power goes out for a longer period of time, a couple days or so, most people are going to be doing the exact same thing. They're either going to be filling their coolers with ice, if they have it, and stuffing that as full as they can, or they're going to be eating all that food as quickly as possible, having neighborhood barbecues and things like that. But there is a much better option for refrigeration in a power outage, and it's a solution that a lot of preppers overlook, and that's a DC refrigerator. I've had my Iceco for over a year now, and it's not only a great preparedness supply, but it's something I use every day. It's a much better option for refrigeration in a power outage because it uses a fraction of the power of a full-size fridge. It runs very efficiently, and you can run it directly off an LFP battery, one solar panel, a really simple solar setup, and it keeps food cold indefinitely without having to rely on that melting ice or a noisy generator keeping that refrigerator running. Today, I'm going to break down why buying a DC refrigerator really is a good investment in preparedness. Like I said, I've had my Iceco for over a year now, and I use it on a daily basis. It's not something that just sits there waiting for the power to go out or the grid to go down. I use this on a daily basis for my overflow meat refrigerator. And along with that, it's great for camping, overlanding, RVs, family gatherings. I recently took mine to a family get-together. So these really are something that you will use all the time. Today, what I want to do is go over how good these are, give you some examples of why these are such a great investment. I'm going to go over how much energy it takes to run my Iceco, how it compares to some of the other emergency options out there, and what you can realistically run this on as far as AC and DC power, and how you can actually use it year-round. Like I said, mine has been on. I don't know that it's ever been off in the year and a half or so that I've had my Iceco. It's been running constantly. Now, in an emergency, a grid down situation, or even a power outage that lasts a few days, most people are going to be completely caught off guard. They don't have a solution for this. Like I said, maybe it's the cooler and they dump all the ice they have in that cooler. Maybe they go to the store and try to buy some ice, but eventually that's going to run out as well. Another option would be running a generator a few times a day to keep that large refrigerator going, but that's noisy and takes a lot of fuel. So most people are going to be losing hundreds of dollars worth of food that is in their refrigerator that is eventually going to go bad. And they're going to start eating those shelf-stable foods, boxes of cereal and crackers and things like that, the other things they have in their pantry, because they don't have the milk, the cheese, the meat, or the frozen vegetables and all those things because those have spoiled. And if they do have those smaller coolers, the ice disappears fast, it turns into water, and it could make all of the food that's in there all soggy, and it's only going to last a couple of days. That's why a DC refrigerator really is a great option in a situation like this, because it doesn't require any ice at all. You could actually make your own ice if you wanted to. It runs off of 12 or 24 volt DC power, which means you can just use a battery for it. These DC refrigerators are going to maintain that temperature, so you're not going to get those fluctuations of, maybe you've got frozen food that thaws out a little bit, then it freezes again. It's going to maintain that temperature. And these Icecos have it's a C-cup compressor, and they are really, really efficient compressors, some of the best on the market, actually. And that's why these Icecos are a little bit more expensive than some of the budget brands, because they are built a whole lot better, and they use better parts for their DC refrigerators. So they are going to work better in the long term. And again, these are designed for boats and RVs and off-grid setups, so they're kind of like a hybrid between a regular igloo cooler and a large-scale refrigerator. They combine the best of both worlds into one thing: the portability of a cooler and the consistent temperatures of a regular freezer or refrigerator. Now, when it comes to the energy these use, this is the biggest advantage over a full-size refrigerator or even a mini fridge. This is the typical household refrigerator, a regular full-size refrigerator. Takes between 1 and 2,000 watt hours per day. My refrigerator, I've got a second refrigerator that we use, and it takes about 1.2, 1.3 kilowatt hours per day to run that refrigerator. A DC refrigerator takes between 3 and 600 watt hours per day. I usually have mine set up where both sides, this Iceco, you can set them up. It's got two different zones. You can set one side up for refrigeration, the other side for freezing, or both refrigeration or both freezing. I have mine set up to be just one full freezer because it's my meat freezer, my extra overflow freezer for meat. So what I do is have that set up for freezing, and that uses about 600 watt hours per day. If you set it on one freezer and one refrigeration, you're looking at about 400 watt hours per day, and even less than that if you have it all on refrigeration. So you can see it takes about a quarter or a third of a full-size refrigerator. Now, it's not the same size, it's much smaller, but just like everything in preparedness, if the grid were to go down, we need to make some of those sacrifices as far as how much energy we're using, and this is the same type of situation. With my Iceco, I've got an APL 55, which is a mid-range. It's a pretty large DC refrigerator, but there are some that are much larger, almost twice the size of this one, sort of a maybe commercial-sized refrigerators. But this one, there are smaller ones as well. It's just up to you how much you may want to store. So the larger that one of these are, the more power it's going to use, but nothing near a full-size refrigerator. If you get one of the smaller ones, you're probably looking at 150, 200 watt hours per day. And these take about 30 watts, between 30 and 50 watts when that compressor kicks on. And this isn't something constant throughout the day. It has what's called a duty cycle, meaning it turns on when it needs to lower the temperature inside the cooler and then turns off once it reaches that temperature and then turns back on again. So throughout the day, throughout a 24-hour period, you're looking at between 300 and 600 watt hours. And to make these even more efficient, what I did, the Icecos have a cover that you can put on them that not only, I keep mine in my garage and I have it hooked up to the battery setup that I have, the solar setup that I have out there. And what this protective cover does is it protects it from, dings and scratches and damage, especially if you say you're putting it in your truck or your boat or your RV. It protects the outside shell from that. But it also insulates this just a little bit more. It's nice and thick, but it's not too thick. It's not too bulky. It fits on really well, and it's cut out, and it fits perfectly for whichever Iceco refrigerator that you have. All the vents are open. It's got a couple sleeves on it to put power cords or maybe some recipes or different utensils, whatever you might need to put in that cooler. And then the top just Velcros on, so you can undo that Velcro, open that lid up nice and easily, and this cover can stay on 24/7. It's really, really a cool cover, really well made, really a quality cover. It takes a little bit. I got this on by myself, one person putting this on. If you get two people, you'd be able to put it on a whole lot easier, but it can be done with one person on a refrigerator this size. But it really is quality made. It fits like a glove. And it really is something that I'm really glad I've got on my cooler, because it's going to run, even if it only saves a few watt hours a day, in a grid down or emergency situation, every single watt hour counts. So everything we can save is going to be important. And I mentioned the sleeves, the storage in this cover, and it also comes with a sleeve for the little power bank that they sell, where you can run this Iceco off of this magnetic little power bank. It sticks right onto the Iceco refrigerator itself by a magnet, and this is a 250 watt hour little power station or power brick right here, which will run this Iceco if you have it set to refrigeration, or even one side freezer, one side refrigeration. You're looking at 12 to 18 hours that it will run this refrigerator. So if you are at a family gathering, say a family reunion, or on a day trip, it will run this refrigerator the whole time, and you don't have to worry about lugging another power station and a power cord and having a few different parts. This is all together in one little unit basically, so it makes it really nice and convenient. You can also charge this while you are using it as well. It does support pass-through charging. So with this, you could run this indefinitely, this little power source right here. And if you have to stop, say, if the sun goes down and you're not getting solar power anymore, you can use this until the next day, and then you can get solar power again. So this little brick right here, it's a lot cheaper than a full-sized power station, even some of the smaller ones, and does a lot more than, say, the smaller little power bricks that are basically just phone chargers, an extra battery for your phone and things like this. This you can actually plug in lower wattage 12-volt appliances to. So this is a nice little power brick right here. And I will leave the links to everything that I'm talking about in the description below today. So that is one way to keep this refrigerator on and running. Another way is to use a portable power station. Now this is going to take a little bit more energy than, say, a LiFePO4 battery, because it does have to, even a power station has to convert. They run on 50 volt or so batteries. Even that has to convert that down to 12 volts. So you're gonna get a little bit of loss right there. But even on a power station, you're looking at 500 or 600 watt hours to run this. And depending on the size of your power station, you can run this for a couple days, a few days. A Jackery 1000 has, I believe, just over 1 kilowatt of energy, so 1,000 watt hours. With this refrigerator, you could run this 2, maybe 3 days if it's full and it doesn't take as much energy to run this. And with that power station, if you've got one 100 watt solar panel, you could easily get that 400 watt hours of energy and replenish that power station. So this is something with a power station, you could run this indefinitely as long as you had that sunlight in an emergency or disaster situation for as long as it lasts. A third option, and this is the best option, I think, and the option that I use, like I said, out here in my garage, I have my battery and my solar panels outside, and to keep this charged back up, this is a 300 amp hour battery, but you could use a 100 amp hour battery. And the benefit of going directly from a LiFePO4 battery is you're not getting any losses from converting it. This is already a 12, or maybe you have a 24 volt battery. It's already that 12 or 24 volts, so you're not getting those losses. You take power directly from that battery and put it into that DC refrigerator to keep that running. So you are going to get the most efficient use using this setup right here. With my APL 55, if I have this set up, both refrigeration, we are looking at about 300 watt hours per day to keep this running. Whereas on a power station, it might be 325, 350 watt hours per day, because it takes energy to keep that power station on and also convert that energy. So this is the best setup as far as a grid down setup, or even traveling. This uses the least amount of energy of all the options. And then you always have the fourth option, the year-round option, which is AC power from your home if you want to. I personally keep mine hooked up to my battery all the time. I have that recharging every day, so I might as well use that. It'll save me a little bit of money on my electric bill, although it's only probably 25, 30 bucks a year, but still, that's 25, 30 bucks. But it gives me an opportunity to use my battery as well and make sure everything is working properly. That way, if something does happen, I know it's going to work. But AC power works for these just fine as well. If you have that option while you're trying to recharge your battery, that's fantastic. But these Icecos, this Iceco comes with a few different charging options. It's got the AC cable, it's got the DC cable with the cigarette lighter port plug-in. And I've even adapted mine. I've cut the end off of one of the cigarette lighter ports and adapted it to be able to plug it into this large battery box power station. I've got a XT90 connector, or I've got my battery bank out in the garage where I can plug it in with the cigarette lighter port. So there are a few different options depending on which situation you're in or how you want to power these in a disaster, an emergency, or even on a road trip. So these are really cool, just all around nice appliances to have. Something that is smaller than a full-size refrigerator, something you can move around. I've had mine in the bedroom, in the basement, in the garage, in the truck, you know, camping, a lot of different places that you can take this. And even the larger ones like this, it may take 2 people to get it up into the truck if it's full, but you'll be able to do that, and it's going to keep everything cold a lot better than a normal cooler with some ice in it will. Another benefit of these coolers, not only are they great for meat storage, dairy, and other fresh food, depending on what you want to put it in there, there are a lot of medications that need to be refrigerated. So if you are one of those people, something like this is a great way to keep that insulin or other medications cold and not have to worry about those temperature fluctuations. As long as you've got a way to keep this powered up, that medication is going to stay at a consistent temperature. So if you are in a situation like that, I do think even if it's a smaller DC refrigerator just for your medications, I think these are the best option for that as well. So I'm curious, if any of you out there have a DC refrigerator, make sure and leave your comments below. I know I've done some videos about refrigeration in the past, and I know that there are some people that absolutely just love their DC refrigerators. There are other options, but nothing really beats this. Like I said, I've had this Iceco running 24/7 that I've had this, and I have had 0 issues with it whatsoever. As far as temperature goes, and I've set it up for all freezing, I've set it up all for refrigeration, I've had it set up both 2 different zones, and I've never had one issue whatsoever. It's nice and easy to clean. The lid, I love how it soft closes. I mean, just an all-around fantastic cooler. It is a little bit more expensive than some of the other coolers, but it's a whole lot, it's much higher quality, and the compressor in there is much more efficient. It's just an all-around better cooler. It is worth, in my opinion, it is worth that extra money that you're going to pay for one of these. And even as at the price it's at, it's still not the most expensive ones, and those ones to me is just a little bit too much for me. I really think this is that sweet spot of that really high quality refrigerator that you're not going to be disappointed with, and is going to work in, you know, when you need it the most in any sort of emergency or disaster, and for years down the line. At any rate, like I said, make sure and leave a comment if you have any comments below or any questions as well. With that, I am done here today. Take care and prepare, everyone. We will talk to you all later.